Welcome back to me screaming. What's up, guys? It's Katie. Welcome back to Music Major Vlogs. So, yeah. COVID's still going. Remember when we all thought this would be over by Easter? Those were good times. You can't tell because I'm standing in front of a green screen adorned with gray sound panels because I wanted a background that would be appropriate but not ostentatious. But I've moved into my apartment at school. It's not the same apartment I was in last year. It's in the same building, it's just last year I was on the first floor and this year I'm on the third floor, so yeah, moving in was fun. But boy, am I grateful to have been able to move in at all. So yes, you all read the title correctly. I very nearly dropped out of music school this semester. Now, let me make it clear that this would have been because of COVID, and I would have come back to finish my degree no matter what. Clickbait. It's true. So I fully intend to finish this degree. I'm in my last year. I suppose I could certainly be in worse shape, as my school has officially gone virtual for this semester with very few exceptions. There are over 17,000 students enrolled at WCU, and if I heard this correctly, there's only about 600 students on campus right now, of which music majors probably make up the majority, or at least close to it. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of the people living in my building are music majors. But man, am I paying an awful lot of money for an educational experience that is not ideal. And I understand that nothing is ideal right now, but think about it. In band, you're blowing hot air through an instrument and then dumping your spit out of it. In choir, you're throwing billions of microbes directly into the air, surrounded by other people doing exactly the same thing. To say that the arts have been compromised by this situation would be a little bit of an understatement. Not to mention education, like student teaching, classroom observations, what are those? We still have to do classroom observations of some kind for our methods class, but what exactly we're doing, I'm still kind of trying to figure out. Like, in general, I just want to know whose idea it was to make methods a 3-hour lecture. Like, it was bad enough in person, but virtually it's just mean. When you're in a classroom, you're surrounded by that energy, and it's much easier to stay engaged. When you're watching that class on a computer, that energy is only in front of you, and you have all this other stuff surrounding you. Hey guys, editing me here. So it was at this point in recording that my computer fell asleep, and unbeknownst to me, that caused the microphone to stop recording. This was actually the second time the computer fell asleep. The first time I went and woke it back up, and it looked like it was still recording because it started right up again. In my defense, this was my first time trying to do a vlog with the studio mic. I was gonna refilm the rest of this, but yeah, I've kind of got a lot going on right now. Like, I've got school, and also I've got this recital coming up, which I'll talk about later in this video. So instead, I'm just gonna have to use the audio from the internal mic on the camera, so I apologize for the sudden drop in audio quality you're about to experience. I'll try my best to balance out the volume, but of course the camera mic is a lot louder than the condenser mic, and it wouldn't be the first time I've epically failed at volume balance, so you have been warned. When you're watching a class on a computer, that energy is only right in front of you, so you have all of these other things surrounding you that are competing for your attention. And I don't talk about this much because I really don't like pulling this card, but let me tell you, as someone who suffers from severe ADHD, this online learning thing has been hell on earth. By 30 minutes into that lecture, my brain was screaming at me. By 45 minutes, I was gone. Pretty much more than any other class, methods is going to be the death of me, and we're only a weekend. But there have been good things. I finally made the top band, for instance. Of course, we're limited in what we're actually able to do, but I made it, at least. And I finally started to feel better about myself as a horn player once I got into the practice rooms, because I got more done in the first 2 hours than I got done in the last 5 months. If this spring and summer have taught me anything, it's that I just don't have the mental capacity to practice at home. Even when I have motivation, even when auditions were looming, even when I continued to take lessons with my teacher at home over the summer and got my butt kicked week after week after week. Really, my ensemble audition was way better than I deserved it to be. I really only pulled myself together in the last 4 days. But if I feel better about myself as a horn player now, it is going to quickly fade because in the middle of COVID restrictions, I'm about to use the word recital. I was hoping to do my senior recital at the end of student teaching so that I could hopefully have all my friends and family there in person, but apparently I'm not allowed to do that. Instead, I have to live stream my recital performing in an empty hall. Which sounds horrifying. I've done enough theater to know that it is impossible to recreate the energy you get from performing in front of an audience. Which, by the way, is one of the reasons I haven't done any videos playing horn, as opposed to singing, which is easier because 1, I have a track to keep me going, and 2, since it's not my major, the expectations are lower. Although I will say, I have been working on a horn piece that I would like to record and post. The only reason I haven't done it already is because of my aforementioned practicing issues. And this isn't exactly an easy piece. Like, I swear when I write for myself for horn, I clearly think I'm this guy. to his channel in the description, by the way. He's amazing. But either way, it's gonna have to wait because I've scheduled my senior recital for October 24th at noon, which is scarily close. I might share the link to the live stream. We'll see how I feel. But right now I'm trying not to think about it too hard because it makes me want to smash my head through the wall. My professor did suggest that I could come back over the summer to do the performance again with an audience. But as much as I want my grandmother to be able to be there, I don't know if I want it badly enough to make myself go through this twice. Make no mistake, even though I did ultimately make the decision to come back this semester, which by the way was mostly because I would have lost a lot of financial aid if I had stayed home, I've still had to give up plenty of other things. For instance, I didn't audition for choir this semester because I figured with everything going on, it's best to do as little as possible. And I even dropped something that a year ago would have seemed unthinkable. Guys, I dropped marching band. Obviously, we're not able to do a show this year, so it really came down to doing small virtual ensembles and having master classes of all different kinds, which I think is all great stuff, but in my current position, it's just not worth it. My degree requirement is already fulfilled. The only reason I was still there was because I wanted to march a show, and without that, it just becomes another class I don't need. It makes me extremely sad, but it's not a decision I think I'm gonna regret. I haven't missed it as much as I thought I would, but to be fair, there's not much to miss right now. I think the main reason it really upsets me is that I have to end my 8-year marching career on last season, and I haven't talked about this because it's personal, but suffice to say, I had a lot of stuff going on last year, and it just made it not a very enjoyable season. Along those same lines, one of the main reasons I didn't want to come back is that I didn't want to graduate in the middle of all this. I look at my cousin Emily and how much of her senior year she lost, and I know that high school and college are not the same, but she enjoyed high school a lot better than I did, and I've enjoyed college a lot more than I ever enjoyed high school. And that's the most depressing thing, is that the college experience that I knew and loved, I'm never gonna get it back. Even though it's hard to say what it will look like when this is all over. Like, I hate when people talk about how education will never be the same because it makes me question my life choices and it's too late for me to turn back now even if I wanted to. But it's true, there will be aspects of education that will be changed forever. For instance, there's gonna be no such thing as a snow day anymore. Bet you didn't think of that one. All in all, does this situation suck? Yeah. But in spite of it all, I am happy to be back. Like, I was literally in tears all day yesterday just because of how stressed I was, but I would still say I feel better than I did 2 weeks ago. That said, disaster could still lurk around the corner. I mean, despite the fact there are so few people on campus, if people start getting sick, we could still very easily get sent home. And if all those crazy fraternity people could stop throwing parties so we could stay, please! And pretty much, even though I'm dreading the idea of doing any kind of hybrid student teaching in the spring, because let's face it, we're still gonna be in this mess in January on some level. I think I just need to finish, because we still don't know when this is gonna get any better. Especially here in America, because oh my god, why can't this country get its crap together? Like, I feel like I need to apologize to the rest of the world for being American. I'm embarrassed. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. If you're in school, how are you starting the school year? Are you going back in person or are you going to be virtual? And how are your music programs adapting to this change? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, you should give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell for more from me. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.